Nvidia GeForce RTX 5090 is one of the most powerful consumer graphics, didn't just melt on Christmas Eve. It caught fire. Actual flames coming from a $2,000 graphics card while a family slept upstairs. He's one of at least 4 RTX 5090 owners who reported fire damage in the last 72 hours alone. And those are just the ones on Reddit. One user had been using his card for 9 months, everything by the book. ATX 3.1 compliant power supply, native cable that came with the PSU, proper installation. Christmas Eve, strange smell, then flames. Not it got hot, not it melted a little. Fire with visible flames consuming the connector while his CPU cooler tubing started burning. Here's what Nvidia isn't telling you. Reddit user NMP14fail thought he was being careful. 9 months of flawless operation on his RTX 5090. PowerSpec 1050-watt ATX 3.1 power supply, the exact cable that shipped with it. December 24th, gaming session, then that smell. By the time he looked at his PC, the connector was fully engulfed, not smoking, not sparking, burning with open flames. The 12V2X6 power connector completely charred beyond recognition. Bare copper wires exposed where plastic insulation vaporized. Solder melted into puddles on the GPU heatsink. Even his AIO cooler tubing caught in the blaze. Electronic components are not supposed to produce open flames under any certified operating conditions, period. But here's where it gets worse. 3 more cases reported within 48 hours. User 2, PNY RTX 5090, weeks of random black screens, finally reseated the card to troubleshoot, found an entire row of connector pins destroyed by heat. User 3, MSI Ventus card, months of freezing and flickering before complete failure, connector melted on discovery. User 4, and this one should terrify you, MSI Ventus 5090 with a premium Corsair 1200-watt power supply. This user was undervolting to 450 watts, playing it safe with moderate gaming loads. The connector is rated for 600 watts, he was using 450. Still melted. The problem is buried in the circuit design, and it's getting worse with every GPU generation. German overclocker Der 8-hour ran thermal imaging tests on his personal RTX 5090 Founders Edition. Within minutes of stress testing, his connector hit 90 degrees Celsius on the GPU side. The power supply side, 150 degrees Celsius. Hot enough to melt most plastics, hot enough to ignite insulation. But temperature is just the symptom, here's the disease. Der 8-hour measured current flow through individual wires. One single wire was carrying over 23 amps. That's 276 watts through a wire rated for a maximum of 110 watts. How is that even possible? Nvidia removed the safety systems. The RTX 3090 had 3 separate shunt resistors monitoring power distribution. The RTX 4090 dropped to 2 resistors. The RTX 5090 Founders Edition, 1. A shunt resistor measures current flow. Multiple resistors let the GPU balance power across all 6 wires in the connector. If one wire starts carrying too much current, the GPU can detect it and redistribute the load. With only one resistor, all 6 power lines dump into what Build Zoid calls a big blob of 12 volts. The GPU has zero ability to measure individual wire current. Physics takes over, current follows the path of least resistance. If 5 wires develop slightly higher resistance from wear, oxidation, or imperfect seating, all 575 watts can concentrate through the one wire with the lowest resistance. The GPU literally cannot tell this is happening. No warning, no shutdown, no protection. The wire superheats, plastic insulation melts, exposed conductors create short circuits, heat intensifies. Fire. That's why perfect installation doesn't matter, the GPU can't protect itself. But Nvidia knew this was a problem, they've known for over 2 years. October 2022, RTX 4090 launches, within weeks melted connectors start appearing. Nvidia's response: user error. They claimed people weren't fully seating the connector. The PC building community pushed back. These aren't beginners, these are enthusiasts who have built dozens of systems. So Nvidia made changes. They introduced the 12V2X6 connector with longer pins. The idea was you physically couldn't provide power unless it was fully seated. They assured everyone the problem was solved. The RTX 5090 launched with 12V2X6 from day one. It was supposed to fix everything. It's still catching fire. Worse, Nvidia removed shunt resistors while claiming they were making cards safer. They made them less safe. MSI tried to help. They introduced yellow-tipped cables so users could visually confirm proper seating. If you could see yellow, it wasn't fully inserted. Still melting, multiple confirmed cases with yellow-tipped cables properly seated. ASUS added current monitoring to their $4,000 ROG Astral card, 6 shunt resistors instead of 1, individual pin monitoring, power detector plus warnings. But even that only warns you, it doesn't prevent the failure, it doesn't shut the card down, it tells you there's a problem while your connector is already overheating. And here's what should make you furious. The Christmas Eve fire got zero official response from Nvidia. No statement, no recall, no acknowledgement. Jensen Huang was doing press tour defending the $2,000 price tag as fairly high value for customers who absolutely want the best. 4 documented fires in 72 hours, radio silence. Nvidia knew, changed nothing that mattered and said nothing when it failed. So what do you do if you own one of these? If you already bought an RTX 5090, listen carefully. Inspect your connector weekly, both sides, cable and GPU, any discoloration, any darkening, any heat marks, stop using it immediately, don't wait, don't test it one more time. Perfect seating isn't optional, push until it clicks and locks, keep the cable straight for at least 3 inches from the connector. Any bend creates mechanical stress that increases resistance. Consider undervolting to 400 to 450 watts. You'll lose about 10% performance, but you keep your $2,000 GPU and maybe your house. Never leave it running unattended. No overnight renders, no leaving your PC on when you leave home. The fire risk is real and documented. If you can afford it, the ASUS ROG Astral is the only card with meaningful monitoring. It's $4,000, still doesn't prevent failure, but you get warnings. And if you haven't bought yet, don't buy the RTX 5090 right now, not until Nvidia addresses this, not until there's a recall or a confirmed fix. The RTX 5080 runs at 360 watts with 0 fire reports. AMD's upcoming RX 9070 XT runs at 300 watts total with similar performance to a 5080. Or wait, let other people be the beta testers for Nvidia's fire hazard.